Good afternoon. Yes, and it is a good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. I'm Katie Simon Holland. I have the privilege of serving as the president of the Washoe County School Board, and I'm joined by several of my colleagues here today, Trustee Ellen Minetto, Trustee Andrew Caudill, Trustee Vice President Melina Raymond, and our interim superintendent, Dr. Kristen McNeil. And of course, we are so thrilled to have all of you here today. It's nice to be here to share this beginning with you, and of course, it's sort of an advanced beginning because we've been working on this school for a bit. But this is really a milestone in the school district's work to relieve overcrowding. We certainly thank the community, as we always do, for the support for the WC1 ballot question that has made all of this possible. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the presentation of colors by the Spanish Springs High School Army JROTC Color Guard. Cadet Staff Sergeant Brandon Mueller, Cadet Corporal Chancellor Hudnall, Cadet Private First Class Anthony Brill, and commanding the Color Guard is Cadet Staff Sergeant Taya Rodriguez, and they are led by Master Sergeant Baumgarten.
March time, march. Left turn, march. Going right, halt.
And please welcome the Reno Police Department and Reno Fire Department Color Guard.
Down left. Down left, right. Down left. Down left, right. Mark time. March. On guard. Halt.
And
Left, right.
please remain standing until the colors have left the floor. And the national anthem will be performed today by Spanish Springs High School Army JROTC Cadet Captain Haley Wilson. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red, the bombs bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
March time, march.
On
Right
guard.
turn,
Halt.
march. Forward, march.
Right. Hey. Forward. March. Down left. Down left, right. Down left. Down left, right. Down left.
March time, march. Turn out, halt.
You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you to all of our Color Guard representatives, and thank you, Haley, for a great job. It's a difficult song, as we all know. Great job, Haley. Thank you. And I'm so happy to have this school started, and this is just one of the many projects since the ballot question for capital funding passed in 2016. We completed an expansion of Damani Ranch High School and have 3 new schools completed and serving students. Desert Skies Middle School in Sun Valley, Nick Pulakitis Elementary School in South Reno, and of course, our beautiful new brand new Sky Ranch Middle School right there across the parking lot. We've completed approximately $100 million in repairs, major repairs to older schools, and we will continue to spend tens of millions of dollars of upgrades to schools throughout our district. And of course, these are critical upgrades that provide a competitive environment and a better environment for our kids to learn. One of the things I love about what we're doing is our focus on energy efficiency, sustainability, and long-term thinking in the design of our new schools. We are retrofitting the older schools and incorporating those new designs and those improvements into the new ones. We're investing in durable building materials, energy-saving systems like geothermal heat exchange, natural light with bulbs controlled by photosensors, and built-in solar capabilities. I have had the opportunity to be out at Polakitas Elementary School, which this school will be much like, and there are skylights that are actually providing magnified sunlight into the building that makes it so we don't even have to have lights on in the school, and saving a tremendous amount of energy. Of course, the capital funding to build these schools cannot be spent on salaries or other operating expenses, but these smart investments in efficiency and sustainability will save operating funds over time in lower energy costs. And this is another way that our buildings and WC1 contribute to the sustainability of our district as a whole. And we're glad to have a local general contractor and Q&D Construction. Let's have a big round of applause for Q&D. 86% of the contract value has gone to local contractors, and along with that, hundreds of good-paying, skilled trades jobs are coming from this project, which we love to see in our community. There are a lot of people we want to thank and a few perspectives we'd like to share with you, and each of our speakers today will thank a specific person or two, but please know that each speaker and everyone here is thankful to the entire community and everyone who helped us get here. This school that we are celebrating today, as you know, is named after a wonderful man, one who left us too soon, Reno Police Officer John C. Bohach. And we know that he passed away just 18 years ago today. To speak first about Officer Bohach, I'd like to invite up Reno Police Chief Jason Soto. Chief Soto?
Wow, what a legacy that John left. Good afternoon. I'd like to start off by thanking everybody for being here today. If you just look at this turnout, you understand the impact that John had on our community and certainly our organization. So I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. It's both a privilege and honor to stand before all of you today to honor Reno Police Officer John Bohach in the groundbreaking ceremony of John C. Bohach Elementary School. I'd first like to recognize John's family, who is with us in attendance today. I didn't see his mom. Is Barbara here? Ah, there she is. Okay, Barbara, thank you for being here. His two daughters, Lindsay and Jillian, his wife, Linda, his brother, Mark, and his sister, Jean. I also want to welcome Lindsay's mom, Lori, and Hal Wood for showing up and being here with us today. We know how much this means to all of you, and we are so humbled to be able to share in this moment. Also, I would like to extend the appreciation of every man and woman to whoever worn this blue uniform, both present and retired, to the Washoe County School Board and elected officials who helped make today a reality. We cannot emphasize enough how much it means to all of us that you recognize the sacrifice John gave to this community, especially to the children of this community, which makes today that much more special. Furthermore, there are a few individuals, RPD teammates of John's, whose tireless dedication through phone calls, letters to elected officials, and appearances before the school board truly made this groundbreaking happen. Retired RPD officer Dave Robertson, retired RPD Sergeant Dick Posadas, thank you for being in the trenches for John and his family. This moment was made possible because of all of your efforts. To Adam Wignansky and Wes Myers, I want to personally thank both of you for standing by the Bohach family at every single memorial since that fateful day in 2001 and for your tireless support over the years. In our line of work as police officers, when we lose one of our own through the ultimate sacrifice, we vow never to forget. Today, in the groundbreaking of the John C. Bohach Elementary School, our community has shown us they too will never forget. How fitting is it that from this day forward, John will continue to watch over the children of our community, just as he did every moment of his career with the Reno Police Department. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you, Chief. And thank you, gentlemen, for holding down the sign. Appreciate that. Thanks. And next, to speak on behalf of Officer Bohach's family, please welcome his oldest daughter, Lindsay Bohach Sadler.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here today to come and celebrate with my family on this momentous occasion. Your continued support means the world to all of us, and I know my dad is looking down on this crowd today, and so happy to see all the people who continue to support us. 18 years ago today, my life changed forever. I was 11 years old at the time, enjoying my last few days of summer vacation, when my mom came home, her eyes filled with tears, and she said, "Lindsay, your daddy's been killed." That moment in time changed the course of my life forever. On August 22nd, 2001, my father, Officer John C. Bohach, was shot and killed while trying to protect the citizens of our community. Ironically, one of my father's last acts before he was killed that morning was assisting other officers of the Reno police officer to lock down nearby schools to ensure the safety of those children. While my dad did not make it home alive that day, every single one of those children did. Besides giving his life for this community, my father had so many other positive impacts throughout his 13 years as a Reno police officer. His true passion was being a sex crimes and child abuse detective. As one of the very few officers who spoke fluent Spanish back in the 90s, my dad gave a voice to so many women and children who were being abused in the most horrific ways. He is responsible for putting over 55 child molesters behind bars for life. My dad did everything he could to protect those who could not protect themselves. It seems so appropriate that today we put his name on a safe place for children, an elementary school where children are to be nurtured and kept safe. While my dad dedicated his life to protecting our community, there was so much more to the man behind the badge. A husband, a father, a brother, and a friend, he had a smile and a sense of humor that could light up any room. He was an outdoor enthusiast. I remember spending every weekend as a child on his boat that he named Code 4. When he wasn't on the boat, snowmobiling, or teaching the junior ski program, he was getting into his newest adventure, which was becoming a small planes pilot. Known for his practical jokes and disturbing love for all-you-can-eat sushi, he left a hole in the lives of so many people. My hope for the school is that the students learn where the name of their school came from, and that this discussion fosters trust and support for all local law enforcement agencies and first responders. I remember speaking in front of the school board about 2 years ago and stating, while I hope that this school would bear my father's name to honor his legacy, this was not just a recognition to my dad's sacrifice, but a recognition to all first responders who put their lives on the line to protect and maintain the health and safety of our community. This will be the first school in Washoe County to be named after a first responder, and I believe this school's name should serve as a remembrance of all police officers, firefighters, nurses, doctors, EMTs, and military members who give their heart and soul to serve and protect our community. As an RN myself, I serve this community on a daily basis under the umbrella of Northern Nevada Medical Center. And it warms my heart to know that a community has chosen to honor first responders in such a special way. My hope is to stay involved in Bohach Elementary In the coming years, as the school gets off the ground, I hope to establish a relationship between Bohach Elementary and Northern Nevada Health System so that together we can grow our future first responders. In closing, I want to acknowledge the people who made this dream a reality. Chief Soto mentioned a few people, but today I would like to specifically recognize Adam Wagnansky and David Robertson, two of my father's closest friends who have spent the last 15 plus years to make John Bohach Elementary a reality. Adam, Dave, and so many others believe that my father's legacy and ultimate sacrifice should live on in the history of our community. Finally, I would like to thank the Washoe County School District School Naming Committee, as well as the Washoe County School Board, for their part in making today happen, as well as the larger part they will play in maintaining this beautiful new school. The children of our district will truly be blessed to be going to a new, beautiful, and energy-efficient school that bears the name of a local hero. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. What a moving tribute. And I really do appreciate what Lindsay has said about this being a tribute to all first responders. My brother was a police commander, and I know that every day you all put your lives on the line for us, so we thank you. As we look to the future of our children and their education, I would like to invite our interim superintendent, Dr. Krista McNeil, to the stage.
Well, thank you all very much for being here today. This is certainly a joyous celebration for us today, and I honor all of you in your respective capacities here today. This really is a community win and belongs to the whole community. There were some groups that were really instrumental in making this happen from the very beginning. Before there was even a ballot question, though, there was the Public Schools Overcrowding and Repair Needs Committee. And because we in education cannot go with one day without making an acronym, it was affectionately known as PSORN, one of the many hilarious acronyms that have come out of this process. This was an independent volunteer group that put together the ballot question, but not before they dug deep, very, very deep, into our funding, into our projections for students, our needs, our alternatives, you name it, they dug for it and they received it. This group was made up of representatives from a number of elected bodies, many of you who are here today, and outside groups like the Reno Sparks Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to invite up a very dear friend of mine, Mr. Len Stevens, who was the Chamber's president and their representative for this group. The Chamber was a very huge supporter for all of Washoe County School District's efforts to get the additional capital funding we needed to build and repair schools. Len, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and myself as interim superintendent, thank you for all of the work that you put into making this happen.
Seems like a million years ago. You know, as I listen to what's happening here today and talking about John, it really reminds me of how important the community is and how important the community was in getting this bill passed. And not only doing that, but thinking about the kids and the future of this community. And I just can't even tell you in words how passionate and how into every single session we had into making sure that we were doing the right thing to first develop the bill and then secondly to come together again and develop a budget and get that budget passed for this bill. And when I think of community service, a couple of names come to mind. I remember Debbie Smith, and I know you all remember Debbie Smith. And Debbie was such an advocate for education, not only in the Washoe County School District, but in the state of Nevada. But there was someone who was really instrumental and who was, I think, maybe more passionate than any one of us, and his name was Mike Cate. And Mike, life took Mike away at a young age, but Mike was on every committee possible for Washoe County School District. He was in with both feet, and he was an example for all of us to know that if we are going to live in a community and we want to improve the quality of life, then we need to be part of it. We need to be examples of it. And when we finish this school here, I hope that these kids know that it was built because of community, and that giving back to the community is one of the most essential things that any one of us can do. So when I look back at what we did and the time we spent on it, I would do it over again 100 times. It was the greatest thing. And secondly, the communication we had with the school board, with the teachers, was always there. I can tell you about, well, Pete is out here, I know, but the questions we had and the research that had to be done was just monumental. And the school district came through in every single way to provide us with the information we needed to make sure that we were going to make the right decisions. So this was a great effort by a lot of people, no question about it. And I hope that when teachers come here and administrators come here, they never forget that it was built on community service. It was built by, first of all, a man who gave his life in this community to serve this community, and then other people who did the same thing. So I think we need to give a round of applause to the people in this community for understanding the need and the necessity to provide a great quality education for all of our kids that are coming after us. Let's give them a round of applause. We're not there yet. We still have a long way to go. We still have more kids coming into this community, and we still have more schools to build. And I hope that each and every one of you, when you talk to someone that says, you know what, why are we doing this? You know, we have enough schools. We have enough of everything. We don't. And the most important thing we could give our kids is the ability to learn how to learn and to stimulate their curiosity so that they receive and improve on their endeavors and what they do. And finally, for community, I want to thank Q&D Construction, because it's so great to see local people that are building and doing things in our community, providing jobs, coming back and building our schools and building our facilities for us. So thanks to Q&D also, and thank you all very, very much for being here.
I know Mike was a good friend to many of us. And what he would be doing right now was stamping his fist on this counter and say, gosh darn it, we did it. Only he wouldn't say, gosh darn it. But thank you, Lynn, and the entire Chamber of Commerce for all of the support that you have given our community today. You know, the Chamber helped us get here, and so many of you did as well. And I am very, very privileged as her prior principal and somebody that has all of the respect and honor and know that she is going to be the most outstanding principal for John C. Bohach Elementary School. I want to introduce our newest principal for John C. Bohach, our first principal. Just listen to that. Our first principal for John C. Bohach Elementary School, Miss Heidi Gavrielis.
Thank you, Dr. McNeil, and good afternoon, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to be with you all on this gorgeous Nevada Day to celebrate the groundbreaking for John C. Bohach Elementary School. I cannot express just how excited I am to begin my work as principal of this gorgeous new school. And I would like to begin by giving a personal thank you to Interim Superintendent Dr. McNeil, the Washoe County School District leadership team, and the Board of Trustees for granting me this extraordinary, truly once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to open a new school. I am so grateful for our community's investment in education that has made this building possible. Thank you to all who made the passage of WC1 a reality. Additionally, I would like to thank our school contractor, Q&D Construction, for their hard work on the project and thank them in advance for having the school ready on time. This additional new school in our Spanish Springs community is going to help relieve some overcrowding in several schools. It's also going to shorten and eliminate some bus rides for many students. It's also going to bring state-of-the-art resources to our kids. But beyond providing a beautiful facility and great resources, John C. Bohach Elementary School will provide the outstanding education and support that every elementary-age child deserves. We will work to honor the legacy of our namesake, Officer John Bohach, and prepare our students for their future. I am excited to begin working with the community to build a vision and mission that represents our unique neighborhood. I also look forward to building a parent group and working with stakeholders to decide on the school mascot very soon. It is my hope that this school will help to raise a new generation of scholars, leaders, and heroes in our community. And so for me, the real excitement will begin on August 10th, 2020, when we welcome the first Bohach Elementary School students through our doors. Officer Bohach, you will never be forgotten.
And no stress on the contractors there for August 10th. Thank you very much, Heidi. We'd also like to thank our architects, H&K Architects, who also designed the beautiful new school, Nick Polakidis. And if you haven't had an opportunity, please take the time, go out to Nick Polakidis, take a tour. This school, John C. Bohach Elementary, is in the same design, and it's absolutely going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. We're just so excited. I would now like to have our trustee, Andrew Cottle, come up to wrap things up.
Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Caudill. It's an honor for me to represent the Spanish Springs area on the Board of Trustees. We are so excited for this new elementary school, and we know how badly it is needed in the growing area of Spanish Springs. These 28 classrooms, 1 STEAM lab, and 3 collaborative learning hub spaces will give us not just the ability to relieve overcrowding, but also more options for education. The music room, special education rooms, flexible makerspace, collaboration areas, this will be more than just a building. It will be a space for children to learn and grow. With that being said, again, thank you to everyone mentioned so far, and so many others who have been and will be instrumental in making this school a reality. I'm so excited to have the school under construction, and though clearly, if you look behind me, the ground has already been broken, but it was important to gather everyone for this tremendous ceremony. I'm now going to introduce my fellow trustees and ask them to stand as they're introduced, and please come grab a shovel, a hard hat, and head over to the dirt pile. We have a President, Katie Simon Holland, Vice President Melina Raymond, and Trustee Ellen Minetto. All of our speakers are invited to head over for a shovel as well. We'd also like to invite all of Officer Bohach's family, as well as any members of law enforcement, first responders, the military, and the color guard to please join. Now I'd like to introduce all the other elected officials who are also invited and welcome to join us at the dirt pile behind the shovelers for the first photo. I'd like to welcome County Commissioner Vaughn Hartung. We have County Commissioner Bob Lucy, State Assembly Representative Alexis Hansen. We also have representatives from Senator Cortez Masto's office and Senator Rosen's office. This was a community effort, a community win, and is a community celebration. Thank you all for coming out. Let's break ground.